Hey, how's it going everybody? Welcome to Arc Basics, a show where we break down the ABCs of how to start an arc, how to accomplish things, how to achieve things, how to be the best you possibly can be. That's right, we're going with the full ABCs of arc. A for arc, B for basics, C for, well, whatever you want it to be. C can be anything. Hey, how's it going everybody? Welcome to Arc Basics. I'm Phlinger Phoo, and today we're going to be talking about, well, one of the dinos that is kind of considered one of the better dinos in the game as of Genesis 2. That's right, we're talking about the SHADOWMANEs. Alright, the sea cats, the ocean cats, the water cats, the lionfish cats, whatever you want to call them. These guys are absolutely amazing. Now they're kind of like a cross between a lionfish and a lion, but yeah, and you'll see how that similarity kind of it plays a role in how in the abilities they get and how you actually play these guys, because these guys are kind of I honestly don't want to say overpowered, but they're totally overpowered. They're great. These guys are amazing. If you're playing on Genesis 2 and you haven't tamed SHADOWMANEs, what are you waiting for? You need to get some. These guys are absolutely amazing. All right, now you can tell the difference on them, whether or not they're male or female, quite easily just by quickly looking at them. The one on the left is a male. The one on the right is a female. The big mane on the left one is a surefire sign that that is a male one. The one without the mane is female. Now, each of them have kind of the same abilities, but also kind of different. Now, on the... hold on, I pressed the wrong button. Sorry. All right, on the male actually has some pretty good abilities. It has a regular attack. It has this attack right here where if you press and hold the right button, it will target all the dinosaurs in close proximity and then teleport in between them, stunning each individual one. Here, let me show you exactly how this works. Now, the left click and the right click are the exact same. See how it stunned him? And he's just kind of just sitting there, and now he's snared for a little bit, and then he'll just run off. Yeah, the snare lasts quite a bit. It's like 10 seconds. It's a really, really good snare. All right, and then there's a couple other different attacks. There's the sea attack, which requires mate boost, but... oh, you coming back, dude? Alright, so there's just... when you're hitting up next to them like this, there's either you can just press the C, and then they'll turn themselves invisible if you're on the male, or if you hold C... oh, the roar's down. Alright, there we go. Now it's back up. Alright, so if you just hold C, he'll roar. Now this roar is pretty dang cool. Alright, so where it makes your stamina regenerate faster, your torpidity go down faster, it increases your movement speed, and yeah, it's pretty dang cool. Alright, so let's go to the female. Now the female, she's got the same attack. She's got the right click attack, she's got the left click attack, which does that. Now if you just press C, makes herself go invisible, but if you hold C, she makes everything in a distance around her go invisible. So, yeah, both the female and the male have their certain special abilities, but, yeah, you could use these guys for all sorts of different cool things. All right, now, both of them have the exact same abilities as a Spino. You go in here, you get the water buff, which is basically your dino's speed, health, regeneration, and damage is boosted while you're in the water. Now, these guys also swim wicked fast. It is really impressive how far these guys swim. And also, when you jump, all you do is just hold the jump button, and we, of course, swim through the air. Just like that. That's only because we came out of the water. If we're just like this and we jump, then we'll do like that and then just regular jump. Now, the amount of fall damage these guys would take, you would think that it would be like more of Thyla or Sabertooth-esque, but that's not the case. If you're jumping, regular jump on these guys, and it's level ground, and you go to, you know, either to higher ground or slightly less ground, you're not going to take any fall damage. If you jump and then the place that you land is much further down than where you were, where you started, yeah, you're going to take a little bit of fall damage. But if you just run off a cliff like this, and you were to faceplant yourself down there, you would take a bunch of fall damage. So don't do that. Don't do that at all. All right. We were to jump, like our super jump and then jump down there, yeah, we'd take a little bit of fall damage, but it would be manageable. But if we just ran off this cliff, yeah, don't do that. All right, yeah, you'll take a bunch of damage, and it's not going to be fun. All right, so now that we've got that stuff taken care of, let's talk a few more things about their saddle. Now, these guys' saddle, it's kind of interesting how these guys, they have a natural armor. All right, and it's determined by their level from which they're either tamed or bred. So they get, and it caps out at 124.8 armor. So you don't have to craft a saddle. They come with a saddle naturally put on them, and it makes it so where they take very, very little damage from incoming damage, which means these guys, when you have a nice bred imprinted one, you can tank Gigas with these things. You honestly can. I mean, Gigas, they'll whoop you up a bit, but you can still definitely take them out. Alpha Rexes, no problem. You can take them out. It's pretty easy. All right. But the lower level ones, the saddle is absolutely scaling. So if you have a lower level one, yeah, you're not going to be able to get the highest level saddle, but just keep trying at it, get a nice high level one, and then you'll get a really high level saddle that goes with it. But also, these guys, they do have a pretty cool ability when it comes to attack. So let me show you. So as we attack, this guy, see that bar? It's filling up down below. All right, now when that gets up to max, it'll go red, and I'll use press and hold the button, and then it'll give one massive attack. Here, hold on. There we go. All right, stand still so I can do this. All right, now all we do is just bam, and you do this massive attack. All right, now on that left click attack, now that we're no longer being pushed around, if you are attacking things with this left click attack, and then you get it built all the way up, and then you attack something and you kill it, with that attack, it will instantly refresh. See? We just refreshed it twice, which makes it really, really... Oh, you're gonna come at me? Yeah, see, dude? Yeah. Thanks for refreshing me, bud. But yeah, that means that if you're getting your butt kicked by a bunch of stuff, it will instantly refresh and allow you to do a ton more damage. Now, also, when things hit you and attack you, they actually get a debuff that does damage to them and then also reduces the amount of damage that they do. It's kind of cool. It's not considerable, but it is enough. Yeah, especially when you've got a few different things going on. All right, so now for the question on how to tame them, because whoops, hold on. Everybody wants to know how to tame them. Now, how to tame them, there's all sorts of different traps that you can do. I've got this one trap that I prefer. It works really, really well. Now, you can use different traps for it. You can get ones with ramps that go up to the sides. You can get ones that are just pillars. You can use ones, as long as they're contained and they're in there. But you also don't need a trap. Honestly, you don't. Now, SHADOWMANEs in the wild, they will harvest everything that they kill. And when they harvest it, they will also take all that stuff and they will just carry it around inside them. So there are ways of actually feeding them things like Ovis that will make it so where they just can't move, because everybody knows fur weighs a lot. So if you were to force feed them, if you were to just drop a couple Ovises on one's head out in the wild, it would eat the Ovis, it would harvest it up, and it would start collecting all of the pelts that is in its inventory. Now, pelt weighs a lot, so after a while, they won't be able to move, which makes taming them a little bit easier and a little bit more manageable. So when it comes around to actually needing a taming pen, do you need a taming pen? No, you do not. There are ways to circumvent that. Is a taming pen helpful? Very much so. Taming pens are really, really good on these guys, but there are certain ways that you have to use a taming pen. It's more like a Hyaenodon than anything else. Taming them is just like that, only a lot more dangerous. Yeah. All right, now what do these guys eat? These guys eat fish. Fish are, yeah, that's pretty much all that you feed them. Now, there are ways of actually getting fish and stockpiling them for different bits, because, here, let me show you. All right, when you have fish traps over here, these right here, the fish baskets, this is how you catch the fish. And this is how they eat their fish. You need to go out and you need to tame wild fish by trapping them inside there and then feeding them the fish while they're still stuck in the basket. But you can save fish that you want later. You can actually take and find a nice body of water like this, and then you can store your fish and put them in there. Now, I've noticed that piranhas and salmon will tame them, but the best bang for your buck that you get is just regular coals or coelacanths. But you want to make sure that you have at least a 1.2 multiplier or higher. See this guy right here? He'll work to tame them, but you'll get very little, and also to lower some of the taming effectiveness. This guy right here, he's ready to go. We can just tame him back up by putting down a fish trap, and then putting him in the fish trap, and then use him to tame a fish. But I'm going to go get quite a few of them, quite a few more fish, and then we're going to tame a SHADOWMANE here in a little bit. But yeah, here, let me show you. There are a couple places where you can go on Genesis, or, well, you can use fish from any map. But I would recommend using coelacanths. Right now, there are a couple different rivers and lakes that you can use specifically on Genesis 2 that I actually prefer to go get fish. Now, one of them is over here. All right, one of my favorite spots on Genesis 2 is over here. Let me show you where it's at on the map. It's right here. It's this dried riverbed. Now, this spot right here, now, a bunch of different places will have fish, but this one right here seems to have a very tightly packed little bit because it has the deeper water, you know, it has the water where you can actually drown in, but it also has, see, look at this, quite a bit of spots that actually have a lot of fish. And look at that. And they're so tightly packed, they're really, really easy to catch. Alright, now the only place to find SHADOWMANEs on Genesis 2 is over on the Rockwell side. You look at the map, there's a left side, there's a right side. The right side is the Eden side, the left side is the Rockwell side. So we're going to head over there. Now, when you're going over to tame, if you're going to use this method to go over and tame SHADOWMANEs, we need to make sure that when we come out here, that there is no void worms out here in space. If there's a void worm, it's going to cause us to have all sorts of different problems. Now, if there is a void worm, we can still do it, but we just need to take a different way. Now, when you're looking at the map, you'll notice that there are 4 different ways to get across. Yeah, that means that we can take any of those passages to get all the way across in one fell swoop. All right, we're going to take this one. This area looks to be quite clear. So, yeah, let's head over this way, and let's go find ourselves a SHADOWMANE. All right, now I would just like to reiterate that this is not the only way of taming one. It's just, in my opinion, this is the easiest way of taming them. Yeah, it takes a little bit of build-up, but once you have it in place, you can just rapid-fire tame as many SHADOWMANEs as you want. And this is the Quetzal method. All right. But yeah, if you're going to tame them out in the wild, I would recommend getting ghillie and also bug repellent, because there's a lot of different bad guys around here. So if you're going to be taming them out in the wild, definitely use ghillie and bug repellent. That way there you have to worry about the least amount of aggro as possible. Now with my method, well, with this method, it doesn't really take any of that. It just takes a Quetzal. So, and a trap, and fish, and maybe a cryopod or 2. So, yeah. Alright, now we just need to find one. Alright, when you're looking for them, you can find SHADOWMANEs throughout any of the areas where the rivers and the lakes are on the Eden side. They're pretty much just kind of all around. And they're pretty common around there. It's just right now I'm having a hard time. We'll be able to find some here in a minute, and I'll bring you guys back when we find them. But yeah, just go to where the little purple bits are on the Rockwell side, and you will definitely run into SHADOWMANEs. And trust me, it's a rather interesting experience your first time that you encounter them. They're very, very dangerous. All right, found some. Now, during the daytime, you will traditionally find them sleeping. Here, what? As we sit here and we watch this group right here, you'll see that they kind of just curl up and take a nap. Usually. Alright, you can find these guys in all sorts of different colors and stuff. One's 45. What's the other one? Oh, it's 130. That's actually a pretty decent one. Alright, we'll probably go for the lower one just so I can show you where how to tame them without having to use a ton of fish. But yeah, alright. So this way right here, you grab a Quetzal. Now on this Quetzal, Quetzals are really easy to tame on Genesis 2. And of course he just pooped. And the only thing I level on this guy is stamina. Only stamina. Nothing else other than stamina. Yeah, it needs to be able to take a hit, but Quetzals can usually do that without doing anything else. So, what we're going to do is we're going to go down and we're going to grab one of these guys. Now, be very, very, very careful, because if you aggro them, when you're picking them up, they will smack you, and their teleport will knock you off of their, off the saddle. Oh, here's another one all by himself over here. So let's go get this one. I have no idea what level this one is, but hey, you know, it could be a little adventure. There we go. Alright, so now we got this guy, and we're gonna take him all the way back. All the way back. Yes, we're gonna take him all the way across. Yeah, I heard that. Yeah, we're gonna take him all the way across the map back over to our trap. Now, there are ways of doing this with the Quetzal method, so where it's not such a huge a journey to get across the way, but in my opinion, finding a good lake where you can store your fish is very, very important, because fish traps don't last a long time. Although you can put them in preserving bins, and which will double the amount of time that they do last, but still, that's not very long. Yeah. So, either you can store them, you can trap your SHADOWMANE first, which I would not recommend because they do tend to jump out of the taming pen, or grab your fish, put them in a lake, and then just go down and then recapture them whenever you need to. Or if you've got plenty of time and you think you can make it, then just grab the fish, put them in a preserving bin, grab your SHADOWMANE, and then grab them out of the preserving bin as you need them. Yeah. All right, and that's kind of what I'm doing on this one right here. Now we're just going all the way across. All right, so now that we're over here on the Eden side again, pay very close attention to your stamina on your Quetzal. If you have a lower level Quetzal, or you just haven't leveled it up as much as I have for stamina, you can actually just drop them off. Find a nice safe spot to drop them off and just kind of leave them. And then regain your stamina, pick them back up. But make sure that if you do drop them off, don't drop them right down there in the water. These guys love to swim, and they swim wicked fast, and they'll go down, they'll pick a fight with all the sharks, and then they'll end up getting dead for you. So don't do that. If you want to like go over there to one of the little grassy bits, just drop them off. The parasaurs and stuff, they'll kind of play as babysitter as the SHADOWMANE eats them for a little bit while you can regain your stamina. And then just pick them up and then just keep going back over. Taming a SHADOWMANE, it's an event. It's pretty cool. All right, so here we are at the trap. Now, the hardest part of this entire tame is threading the needle. It's getting them just... Yeah, that one didn't work. All right, get your stamina. Come on. Go pick this guy up. Drop him down. Best thing is just to have him like this, and then just go straight down. It's like that, and it'll drop him right inside the pen. Okay, so now that we've got him trapped inside the pen, and by the way, this is a 135, now that we've got him trapped inside the pen, the key thing, never, ever, ever, ever fly over the pen. All right, so let's go get some fish, and we'll come back, and we'll start taming them. Okay, now you'll notice that this trap, I've specifically built it so where it's too wide. Right there, it's... Hold on, I forgot, handy-dandy lace pointer. It's too wide, and there are, fence foundations right there to block the line of sight. So we can come up here, put like this... and then feed fish basket. And then it will go invisible, and it'll just kind of just chill out, walk around inside of there, and it will just be doing its normal thing. Now, if it was out in the wild, they would teleport a short they would go invisible, move off a short distance, and then you would have to refine them. If you were doing that, then I would recommend using the taming list calculator right here, and then just popping them up like that. That 2.0 gave 19%. That's pretty dang good. All right, so now we'll just get this one loaded up. I know I have, we'll go 1.3 on this one. And then we'll go, and then as soon as she becomes visible, and then she'll lay back down because it's daytime, means that we can just get up there and we can feed her. All right, now this should be the final tame. There we go. Or the final feed. All right, so now that we've got her like that, let me explain the trap. Now, the trap, it's basically... All right, there's a foundation. Oh, hold on. Handy dandy laser pointer. There's foundation here, foundation here, foundation here, foundation here. There are ceilings on the outer row out there, which make it so where you can actually snap the stuff to it. Now, on the edge of the ceilings, there are... walls that are going 3 high. Now, you only need 2 high, but I go 3 high just in case. Now, on the edge, you'll notice that there are these fence foundations. Now, with the fence foundations, if you have uneven terrain, the fence foundations make it so where the creature that is trapped inside of this cannot see through. They can't see out. So, say if there was like a bump here and then a dip here, they'd be able to see underneath the dip. And you don't want that. Now, the fence foundations, they just block all line of sight. So, yeah. All right, now that we've got her, now that we can just take her, jump up, power leap off the edge, and there we go. All right, now her stats, see, we actually got a really high level one, so she's going to be capped out on her saddle, so 124.8, that is the max. We actually got a pretty decent one. Her melee damage is a little bit low. Her health damage, her health is pretty good. Her stamina is pretty good. Not bad at all. Right, but yeah, okay. So that's pretty much it for the SHADOWMANE. There are a few. There's one other thing that I wanted to mention is the male's roar. If you roar around a bunch of different dinos, it actually affects their movement speed as well for the next 30 seconds. So if you want to get like a quick boost on like a little flyer, you can do it. It does work. But yeah, all right. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoy the video. I hope this helps you out with your SHADOWMANE adventures. And yeah, I handled this one in a little bit different tactic than I did normal, because when it comes to SHADOWMANEs, you need to know what they're capable of before you go out and you start to tame them, because you know what to look out for. Alright, so hey, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope it helps you out. If it did, make sure you click that like button. I really appreciate it. If you're new around here, subscribe. And until next time, this is Phlinger Phoo, and take it easy, everybody.